Pocophone is Xiaomi's first sub-brand, and their first product, Pocophone F1, is extremely affordable. Or should I use the word cheap? Mi 9 is the first flagship that is trying to get rid of the cheap impression, yet it is selling at such affordable price. Will Pocophone F1 be able to stand against Mi 9? This is what we are trying to find out. I'm Alex Ong from Mr. Techs, and you are now watching the comparison of Xiaomi Mi 9 and Pocophone F1. Being a sub-brand does not mean that it will not get all the great things a proper flagship will get. Pocophone F1 is the great example of cheap does not always mean that bad. Before we start, let us clear off the specifications for both smartphones. You can pause the video here as the specifications for both smartphones is shown in the video. Xiaomi Mi 9 is sporting the holographic color scheme glass back, while Pocophone F1 is sporting a polycarbonate back. The holographic color scheme glass back will show you rainbow hues when it is seen under different lightings. When compared with Mi 9, Pocophone F1 polycarbonate back is not attractive at all. I mean it, it is not attractive at all. Aside from being unattractive, Pocophone F1 is also thicker than Mi 9 by 1.3mm. The curved back of Mi 9 also makes it a lot comfortable to hold than Pocophone F1. At the front, you will find a 6.39-inch 19.5 by 9 1080p Samsung AMOLED display with Corning Gorilla Glass 6 on top of Mi 9, while you can find a 6.18-inch 18.7 by 9 1080p LCD display with Corning Gorilla Glass 5 on top of Pocophone F1. The AMOLED display on Mi 9 is so good that the LCD display on Pocophone F1 looks terrible. Yes, I use the word terrible because it is, even when compared with Super LCD 5. Mi 9 and Pocophone F1 supports HDR, and the color reproduction on the AMOLED display is just great. The color looks vibrant yet still accurate. Both smartphones supports white wine L1, but for the moment, Pocophone F1 still unable to play HD content on Netflix, but Xiaomi is fixing it with Netflix. Having AMOLED display means that you will find the in-screen fingerprint sensor at the bottom part of the display. The in-screen fingerprint sensor is not as fast as the traditional fingerprint sensor that can be found at the back of Pocophone F1. Sometimes it even needs few tries to unlock. At the top of the display, you will find the water drop notch that houses the f2.0 20MP front-facing camera, earpiece, and also notification light at the right of the earpiece on Mi 9. You'll find a notch that houses the 20MP front-facing camera, earpiece that act as secondary speaker, sensors, and infrared sensor for face unlock on Pocophone F1. Mi 9 and Pocophone F1 are able to use face unlock, but due to the infrared sensor on Pocophone F1, you will be able to face unlock under low light or no light. Which notch that I prefer? I can tell you that water drop notch or no notch at all will always be my choice. However, I will give the notch on Pocophone F1 a pass because of the added infrared sensor and also secondary speaker. Xiaomi Mi 9 is powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 855, while Pocophone F1 is powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 845. Both smartphones' performance are top-notch. I hardly can notice any obvious performance difference between these two. Both Mi 9 and Pocophone F1 comes with Game Turbo for better gaming experience. Game Turbo on Mi 9 can be found under Security, while Game Turbo on Pocophone F1 is a separate app. Mi 9 is running on Android 9.0 Pie with MIUI 10 on top, while Pocophone F1 is running on Android 9.0 Pie with MIUI 10 for Poco on top. What is the difference between MIUI and MIUI for Poco? Basically, both are the same MIUI, but MIUI for Poco minus the aggressive advertisement. Changing to Mi 9 from Pocophone F1 with no advertisement makes it harder to get used to the advertisement. MIUI for Poco will be my first choice between these two. Mi 9 and Pocophone F1 is having one weird bug that bugged me quite a lot. When it is nighttime, playing HDR content will automatically turn on night mode even after reading mode has been turned off. Pocophone F1 is even worse. Night mode will be turned on automatically after sunset even without turning on reading mode. Xiaomi Mi 9 is sporting triple camera at the rear, while Pocophone F1 is sporting dual camera at the rear. The triple camera combination is f1.75 48MP primary camera, a f2.2 12MP telephoto camera, and a f2.2 16MP ultra wide angle camera. The dual camera combination is a f1.9 12MP main sensor and a f2.0 5MP secondary sensor. The 12MP main sensor will be handling all the capturing duty, while the 5MP secondary sensor only serves as depth sensing sensor for portrait mode. Unlike Pocophone F1, Mi 9 portrait mode is done through the telephoto camera. For this comparison, I will concentrate more on the camera user experience rather than the photo quality between Mi 9 48MP camera and Pocophone F1 12MP camera. Of course, I will still talk a bit about the photo quality between these two, but I will do a separate video that will look into the 48MP sensor and the 12MP sensor in depth. The thing that annoys me the most is the speed of capturing a photo. The 48MP camera on Mi 9 will take longer time to capture one photo than the 12MP camera on Pocophone F1. This is just the 12MP mode, and it is not the 48MP mode. It will take even longer to capture a photo. Capturing a macro photo using the 48MP mode is nearly impossible, as it will out of focus due to the long processing time. The photo quality during daylight is nearly similar, or sometimes Mi 9 12MP photos will have better details than Pocophone F1 12MP photos. Mi 9 will also capture brighter photos during low light, but the details is not as good as Pocophone F1. Mi 9 will also take longer time to capture a photo during low light than during daylight. As for video, Mi 9 and Pocophone F1 are able to record 1080p 30 frames per second, 60 frames per second, 120 frames per second, 240 frames per second, 960 frames per second, 4K 30 frames per second, and 60 frames per second video. Both smartphones do not equip with optical image stabilizer, but Xiaomi added electronic image stabilizer for stable video recording. You can record stable 1080p and 4K 30 frames per second video on Mi 9 while only stable 1080p 30 frames per second video on Pocophone F1. Xiaomi Pocophone F1 comes with dual speakers while Mi 9 only comes with a single speaker. Mi 9 single speaker is very loud, but it is only on one side. Pocophone F1 dual speakers is not as loud, but it has better details and clarity than Mi 9 single speaker. Pocophone F1 dual speakers will be my choice over Mi 9 single speaker that lacks details and clarity.
Tea is a natural stimulant. In an ordinary warrior, it improves strength and energy tenfold. In you, it may induce the avatar state.
Tenfold energy, huh? Is it working? Is it working? I can't tell. Somebody tell me if I'm in the avatar state because I don't have a good view of myself. Am I talking too loud?
I guess he could talk the Fire Lord to death. Maybe I can shock you into the avatar state.
I love surprises.
Natural stimulant. In an ordinary warrior, it improves strength and energy tenfold. In you, it may induce the avatar state.
Tenfold energy, huh? Is it working? Is it working? I can't tell. Somebody tell me if I'm in the avatar state because I don't have a good view of myself. Am I talking too loud?
I guess he could talk the Fire Lord to death. Maybe I can shock you into the avatar state.
I love surprises.
Mi 9 may not come with a 3.5mm headphone jack, but USB-C to 3.5mm headphone jack converter is able to produce good audio quality. Pocophone F1 may come with a 3.5mm headphone jack, but the performance is just mediocre. For this comparison, I use the OnePlus Type-C bullet earphones to better understand the audio performance between these two smartphones. The audio performance through OnePlus Type-C bullet earphones on these two smartphones are very similar. But Mi 9 is able to output slightly richer sound than Pocophone F1. Xiaomi Pocophone F1 sports a 4000 mAh battery with the support of Qualcomm Quick Charge 3.0, while Mi 9 sports a 3300 mAh battery with the support of Qualcomm Quick Charge 4 Plus. Pocophone F1 is able to provide me roughly 1.5 days of battery life, while Mi 9 only able to provide me roughly 1 day of battery life. If you need longer battery life, Pocophone F1 will be your choice. Mi 9 and Pocophone F1 come with a Qualcomm Quick Charge 3.0 18W charger in the box. Mi 9 needs roughly 1.5 hours to fully recharge, while Pocophone F1 needs roughly 2 hours to fully recharge. If you have a Quick Charge 4 Plus 27W charger or a USB Power Delivery 30W charger, you can fully recharge your Mi 9 just under 1 hour. Mi 9 is the first smartphone that supports 20W wireless fast charging, and you will need to buy the 20W wireless charger set that sells at 129 ringgit Malaysia to enjoy the wireless fast charging. You need roughly 1.5 hours to fully recharge your Mi 9 wirelessly. Should you pay the extra 400 ringgit Malaysia for Mi 9? You should if you need a great display, smaller notch, front in-screen fingerprint sensor, 48 megapixel camera, good headphone audio performance, and fast wired and wireless charging. However, if you need slightly more secure face unlock, no advertisement, fast camera, dual speakers, and long-lasting battery life, choose Pocophone F1. Xiaomi not only proved that innovation can be affordable, quality can also be done affordable. That is all for this comparison. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, remember to give it a thumbs up, share it, and subscribe. See you on the next video.